Well, hey everybody, John Redlund here, and this is a real honest rant on the women's division in WWE across Raw, Smackdown, NXT, NXT UK. After the Superstar shakeup and some being called up from NXT to Raw and SmackDown, some moving from Raw to SmackDown and vice versa, I figured I'd just give my thoughts and talk about the state and what the potential are for every single woman that's listed on WWE.com. I'm not including the Bellas because I hope and pray that they are retired. But honestly, they should be. They just should stay retired. I'm going to include women that are either injured or currently maybe not on the outs with the company, but haven't been featured on TV all that much. I just wanted to include every single woman and talk about, hey, what the future could be, what the future could not be. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. But yeah, let's get right into it. Talking about Raw first. Just going to go with Alexa Bliss to start off. I don't know how much longer she's going to be wrestling. I know that she was on live events, apparently. Somebody told me that like a month or a month and a half ago, because I kept wondering why the fuck she wasn't wrestling on TV after the Rumble. And she just recently returned to TV on the Raw after Mania. And, is like still doing Moment of Bliss stuff. I don't know if they're being cautious with her because she's had concussion issues. And that's great if they're being cautious. I got to be honest. I think that her time in the ring is probably going to be pretty short. And no, that's not a height pun. I really think that as far as maybe being a mouthpiece, a manager, hosting a talk show, this kind of stuff, that might be what they transition her into. Because maybe injuries are catching up with her. Maybe they're being cautious. As I said, I have no idea. Will she be champion on Raw if they give her the green light and she's ready to go? And yes, I had to reference that song. Then she probably no doubt will be champion again. But I wouldn't be surprised if she's transitioned to an out of ring role sometime later this year or sometime early next year. But who knows? Alicia Fox. Currently AWOL, if I recall correctly, she, refused to enter rehab after showing up to a house show drunk, apparently drunk, reportedly. I hope that she can get the help that she needs, that things can go well, and that she can, get back to getting in the ring. She's still fairly young, despite having been with the company for 12 years this year? And I mean, I'm not picking 12, 13, no. I think actually 13 years. Well, the whole point is she's been with the company quite a while. I would love to see her clean up her life, get the treatment she needs, if she needs it, and get back in the ring and hopefully do some things. Hey, stick her in a tag team with somebody and have her win the tag team titles. And then maybe build her up to win the Raw Women's Championship sometime next year. You can rebuild somebody if you try. But first, hopefully she gets the treatment that she needs. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch right now is on the Raw and SmackDown brands because she's Becky Two Belts. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. I imagine that even after she loses the Raw Women's Championship, or SmackDown first, whichever, she will end up on the Raw brand. She should, because she's done everything she can on SmackDown, and transitioning her to Raw would be the right call. Again, I don't know how long she's going to hold the two belts. It could just be till Money in the Bank, till she loses one. She could hold them both till SummerSlam. That might be stretching it out a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Becky, though, the ceiling's pretty goddamn high for her. She can continue to rise up even after losing the belt, even after losing both belts. And maybe then she could turn a little bit heel, maybe gain even more of an edge and just go on another run and win the title back at some point. But she's on a pretty big ascent. She's head and shoulders above a lot of the talent on Raw, all due respect to a lot of the women. You have Dana Brooke. Don't have Dana Brooke cut promos. If she can get better in the ring, she got a pretty good reaction at WrestleMania 35. I don't really think there's much of a future for her in the ring. But for the love of God, do not have her cut promos. I mean, I'm sorry. I know she's trying. And you can tell she's trying. She's doing the best she can with the material, but she has not had a good series of promos. She almost sounded robotic with the last promo that she gave on Raw. Unless they suddenly want to strap the rocket to her, I think she's just going to be a jobber. I really think that's what's going to happen. We then get Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is going to be the hand-picked successor, to Charlotte. I'm not saying Lacey Evans is Charlotte in the ring, but they're going to have Charlotte probably dominate on SmackDown at some point later this year. Lacey Evans will dominate on Raw. There is no fucking doubt about that. We're going to get a Lacey Evans Charlotte face-off at Survivor Series, unless they do the 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen thing. If Ronda Rousey is back by then, who knows? But yeah, Lacey Evans is the handpicked successor to, take over Raw. And hopefully she, continues to improve in the ring. She hits a hell of a moonsault. Hell of a woman's right. She is better in the ring than people give her credit for. She still does have a way to go, but she's got the character work. She's got the mic skills down perfectly. I can't wait to see how much more she improves as time goes on. I've been a big fan of her since the very beginning when they showed her just as a, as enhancement talent jobber on NXT. And I got to see her in the Mae Young Classic. She is going to really excel and do goddamn well. So then we get Naomi. I hope Naomi can be champion again at some point. I don't think she will. I really don't. I think they will use her as gain a few wins, or probably just a jobber to the stars. Usos are on Raw, so naturally Naomi's going to be. I don't see much of a future for her there. I'm not saying I want anything bad to happen to Naomi. Far from it. I just don't know if she's going to do that well on Raw. Could be wrong, though. And then we get Natalya. Natalya's pretty much just where she's going to be. And I love Natalya. I think Natalya's fucking fantastic. I think she's great in the ring. I think she's decent on the mic. I think she's a little bit underappreciated on the mic. She is probably just going to end up being, in the role that she is right now, where maybe her and Beth get a crack at the tag titles at some point, because Beth Phoenix is supposed to be sticking around for some, in a part-time basis, which is smart. I mean, you don't really want to overexpose Beth. She's still in phenomenal shape and still wrestles just as good as she did before she retired in 2012. But, except for a couple one-offs, she is going to, Natalya, though, I don't know if she's going to be champion again. I'd like to see it. Probably wouldn't be till sometime next year. Her and Lacey Evans, I think, could have a nice program. They had a pretty good match on Raw, all things considered. Given the fact that they got such a short amount of TV time, and that's not picking on the women, but it's like when you're only given a short amount of TV time, you can only do so much. I think a pay-per-view program, easy for me to say, could do wonders for both of them. I think it would do wonders for Lacey. I think it would show that Natalya can get the best out of just about anybody. I mean, she did it with Charlotte a number of years ago, and at the first NXT TakeOver, even though Arrival was a TakeOver event, it's like whether the name was there or not, and I will not let that go. Natalya, though, I think is probably, just, unless her and Beth get a run with the tag titles at some point, the women's tag titles, I don't think she's going to be a singles champion again. I'd like to see it. I just don't think it's going to happen. Nia Jax, currently injured, double ACL tears. Hopefully she heals up, gets back in the ring, stops injuring people. And I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be mean here, but maybe drop a little bit of weight to take the pressure off her knees and off of her joints, because that's the one thing about weight. That's the one thing about carrying weight. It can do that. Whether she's a healthy weight or not, according to her doctors, according to all this stuff, hopefully Nia can get healthy, stop injuring people, and improve enough to where maybe people will stop booing her so damn much. I don't think that's going to happen, at least the booing part, but who knows. Right now, she ain't going to be back till at least December of this year. Maybe. It might even be they might just save her return for the Royal Rumble. Like, ACL tears are no joke. One ACL tear is bad. Two, she could be out till after Mania next year, depending on how the recovery process goes. But who knows what's going to happen with her. Though, I will say I will not miss Nia Jax in the ring because I found her pretty goddamn boring. And her promos were fucking rotten. Ronda Rousey, currently out with a broken hand, and wants to start a family with her husband, Travis Brown. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to knock Travis Brown as much as I have in the past, mainly because of how quickly he jumped to Bret Hart's defense at the Hall of Fame ceremony. So yeah, his outside, octagon actions and all that stuff and everything, and stuff he's had in past relationships, I'm going to push that to the side. I won't forget it, but I will push it to the side because he did earn my respect doing that. He didn't have to do that, but it shows solidarity and that he cared about what happened with another human being and what happened with a fellow, or a wrestler, and just being around wrestlers. I will give him credit for that. But with Ronda Rousey, if this whole thing sticks and she decides suddenly not to have kids right away, I think after nursing that broken hand and getting back, SummerSlam, they could tease a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen thing. Though I really think they should push that out till sometime SummerSlam of 2020. Because I really don't think the two of the, the MMA horsewomen, and I really hate that term, are ready. I don't even know they're going to be ready by 2020, but we'll see. Ronda Rousey right now, she's not going to be on TV for a while. I think that's going to be a good thing, though. It's unfortunate about the broken hand, but I don't think that she's necessarily going to be missed. I think that some time away will help her and will help the fans. Maybe not even forget about her, but just like, okay, hey, oh yeah, we're going to pop for this. I don't know if I'm going to pop necessarily for her. I kind of got my fill of Ronda Rousey on Raw and on pay-per-views. But best of luck to her when she decides to come back. And best of luck to her and Travis for starting a family. Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, I'm just going to lump them in here. 2/3 of the Riott Squad because Liv is unfortunately on SmackDown. I'll get to that in a bit. Ruby Riott really should be given a feud with Becky. Hopefully she can get one, even though she's been pretty much jobbed out horribly. Sarah Logan actually got treated better at WrestleMania than Ruby Riott did. And I'm not knocking Sarah Logan. I think Sarah Logan's a beast. I think she can do well. I think she can be a good dominator. You stop thinking that. I run a clean show here. But this, I want Ruby to succeed as a singles competitor. Maybe Ruby and Sarah can capture the tag team titles if a phase team takes them from the Iconics at some point. But Ruby right now, like, they're going to need to rebuild Ruby and Sarah a lot. Hopefully they can. I would like to see Sarah get some kind of, singles run. But I don't think it's going to happen until sometime next year. Maybe later this year, who knows. Ruby does deserve a big singles run. I wish they saw in Ruby what a lot of fans do. Who knows if they will. I hope she gets a good run, though. Same with Sarah, as I just covered. Sasha Banks, maybe she's not going to come back to WWE. Maybe she will. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not. If Sasha doesn't come back, hate to say it, ain't going to miss her. And I'm not knocking Sasha because she's a woman. Not at all. I'm not going to miss Luke Harper not being on WWE TV because he can be used better elsewhere. Same if the Revival were to leave and go off of WWE TV. I would miss seeing them if they went to a company I couldn't see, but I'm not going to miss a ton of people if they decide to leave because obviously if they're not going to be used on TV, or if they feel that they're being underutilized, then that's fine. And if I'm not going to pick on the Revival, if I'm not going to pick on Luke Harper, and I'm not going to pick on the other men for wanting to leave, why am I going to pick on Sasha Banks? I mean, just saying. Me personally, I'm not going to knock anybody else if they want to do a video and say, Sasha Banks is this kind of whiner and all this stuff. Maybe her weave's telling her to leave and go to AEW. I don't know. And this could all be untrue. It could just be a work to, piss off the fans and stuff like that. Maybe Sasha just needs some time away. Who knows? If Sasha does come back, they should feature her well, be a single star, turn her heel for the love of fucking Christ. And hopefully maybe we get Cole to stop saying it's boss time. I fucking hate Michael Cole. But then we get to Zelena Beggin. If they let her wrestle, cool. If they don't, she could be Andrade's mouthpiece when Charlotte's not around. That's bad because Zelena and Aleister are happily married. But the whole point is Zelena speaking for Andrade is perfect. But she can work. I think she could show that she has some good wrestling ability if she's given more of a chance. Tamina is also on Raw. SmackDown, Asuka. Asuka, I hope they rebuild her. I really hope they do. They still have something with her. Yes, I'm a big Asuka fan. I'm always going to be an Asuka fan. I've had more of an appreciation seeing her stuff as Kana. Or some have said Kana, and I'm like, no, that's not right. It's Kana, at least I think it's pronounced Kana. That's what other people have said. She is really, really good. Still has, that charisma and that ability in the ring. If they rebuild her, she could be a definite force on SmackDown. SmackDown's women's division is looking a lot more stacked. And that's outside of Lacey Evans, Becky Lynch, and maybe Ruby and Sarah. There aren't a lot of women on Raw that pop beyond, the mid-card. But anyway, Asuka I'd like to see her SmackDown Women's Champion again. I don't think it'll happen. But tag team, probably. Bayley. Turn Bayley heel. I mean, that's why I got this shirt, but in part, turn Bayley heel. As I said in one other video, have her stick a knife in the tube men, cut them up. Have her scare little kids by throwing pieces of the tube men at them and say, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. I don't know why she would laugh like that and why she would put so much space between it, but she would do that. She could, she could cut off the tassels or whatever. She could burn the tube men. She could cast them in a volcano. I'm probably going a bit extreme as far as that, but if they ever did a show in Hawaii, if they ever did a Raw in Hawaii, hey, they could do that. Or they did a house show in Hawaii, they could show Bayley throwing the tube man in the volcano. I don't know why I have such a vendetta against the tube man, but hey, it'd be a great way to, turn her heel and have her completely ditch that persona. I love Bayley. I think Bayley's got some good potential, to be rebuilt if you turn her heel. And her saying that she left her gave all her hugs on Raw, that's a good sign. But then we get Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, as I said, if however long she keeps the title, she's still going to be over, even if she loses both titles by SummerSlam. As long as they keep building her after that and she eventually regains one of them. But she's going to be on Raw, and she has to be. She doesn't need to do anything more on SmackDown. She's been on SmackDown since the initial brand split, which was over 2 years. Nearly 3 years, actually. By the time she is officially on Raw, it could be almost 3 years. The Iconics, current women's tag team champions, as of the recording of this video, just on the off chance they switch the belts, and they're called belts, not titles. They're called belts. Well, belts and titles, actually, depending on what you say. But it's like belts are something you hold your pants up with. It just, I don't know, title belt, whatever. Anyway, the Iconics are, I think, perfect for the women's tag team division. I think could do damn good things. If they were, I'm not saying separate them. I'm not saying that at all. If they decided after the tag team titles were off of them to have Peyton have a little bit of a singles program and Billy to have a singles program and then still support each other, I would be for that. The Iconics have a very high ceiling. Please just don't have them lose the title so soon after winning them at Mania, which would probably mean they would have to have them lose. They would have to have them beat Asuka and Kairi Sane. And I love Asuka and Kairi Sane. I don't want that to happen. Maybe throw a third team in there and have that third team get pinned by the Iconics, and then you extend that program a little bit longer. I just want the Iconics to have a decent run with the tag titles. I would like to see it happen until SummerSlam. I don't think it will, and that's sad. But then we get Carmella. She's also there. Sorry, I just don't really care for Carmella. I just don't. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, but I don't think she's really that good in the ring. And on the mic, just there. Charlotte. She's Charlotte. She's going to get opportunities. She's going to succeed. She's going to do well. She's going to do some great things. If they have her team up with somebody and win the tag titles, that would be sweet. It would keep her out of the singles picture. But Charlotte is going to be, if Charlotte is not SmackDown Women's Champion again by the end of the year or by very early 2020, I will be shocked. She'll be over with or without the title. And then we get to Ember Moon. Ember Moon should be champion very soon. And I know I got a lot of things like, people being champion, but if Ember can stay injury free, and I mean, after working in the Rumble apparently with a busted elbow that needed surgery and blasting 50 minutes, she just on that alone does deserve a chance to become SmackDown Women's Champion. And this is a fresh start for her, and she could do really goddamn well. And I hope that she comes up with something other than the Eclipse as a finisher. Bust out the Eclipse only when needed, because her body is going to hate her by the time she's 35, because of all the punishment that move takes. Or that the toll that takes on the body. But Ember's got a very high ceiling. Kairi Sane, teaming her with Asuka right now. Can't wait till maybe Asuka and Kairi win the tag titles at some point, like at SummerSlam, lose them soon after, in a month or two, and then Asuka snaps and we get heel Asuka versus face Kairi Sane. Or we get that when they lose the match and when they lose a chance to become tag team champions, and then they feud over the women's title. Something. I mean, heel Asuka, we kind of need heel Asuka at this point. I mean, they're not great on the heel side on SmackDown. Lana, should not be a wrestler. Liv Morgan. I am excited to see what they do with Liv Morgan on SmackDown. I think Liv has a great opportunity to show that she has actually improved. And I never thought I'd say that a year ago. I think Liv can improve and get even better. I don't know if she'll be anything more than a mid-card jobber there on SmackDown, but it's an exciting opportunity. And maybe you team her with Sonya and Mandy. Why not? I mean, Fire Desire and Live Fire and Desire. I don't know. I don't know what you would call her. Live for Fire and Desire. I'm not really sure what you would call. Leave in the comments what you would call a team of Liv, Mandy, and Sonya. And then we get Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose, if she is not SmackDown Women's Champion sometime in September or October of this year, I will be shocked. Because they seem pretty high on Mandy. I was actually a bit shocked they didn't give it to Mandy at Fastlane. I was very shocked by that. My opinion of Mandy aside, I think she's better in the ring than I expected. I don't think she's great. That's my take. But she will be champion before the end of the year, unless they just totally pull the plug on her. Mickie James will probably end up being like in the Natalia role, where she'll get some wins, and that'll be just about it. Honestly, I would be very, very shocked if Mickie James ever tastes championship gold again. But I got a guest, folks. Somebody just came in. So, he's a big Mickie James fan. By the way, this is Sir, in case you guys are new to the channel. He likes Mickie James, don't you? You like Mickie James? He also likes Sonya. I think Sonya has a very high ceiling, and if they actually do some great things with her, I think she could do pretty goddamn well. See, if the producer wants to, appear, then he's going to get on camera, even if he doesn't like it. He's not happy. Anyway, so let's get back to the show here. The SmackDown Women's Division is a lot stronger than I thought it would be coming out of the Superstar shakeup. I think personally, it's going to. There's a lot of great potential. There's more potential with the SmackDown Women's Division than there is with Raw, and that's nothing against the women that are on Raw, but there's a lot of question marks with some of the talents. And then we get to NXT and NXT UK, and I'm just going to lump them together. So I'm going to be kind of quick here on this one, since this video is running a bit long. And Aaliyah and Vanessa Borne are a good team. I think Vanessa's the star of the team, clearly. I hope that Vanessa at some point gets a chance to really shine as a single star. Bianca Belair, they seem to have kind of pulled the plug on her as a single star right now. Maybe she'll be champion at some point. Who knows? Candice I like, but I don't think Candice is going to get that many opportunities while she's just known as Johnny Gargano's wife. And also, what doesn't help is, like Dakota Kai is injured. Tegan Nox, who I believe is going to be on the NXT UK brand, she's injured. But yeah, Dakota Kai is injured. I would love to see Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox go after the tag titles when they come back. Deonna Purrazzo, feature her on TV more. She is really goddamn good. She is somebody that they can build around. Io Shirai probably will be the one to take the title from Shayna Baszler. Jessamine Duke is not any good. She's not. She's not any fucking good at all. Marina Shafir is not any fucking good at all. Those are two horsewomen that I talked about earlier that aren't any goddamn good. Mia Yim as a submission, style wrestler, and doing a couple high-flying moves, but she had to change her style after a severe leg injury. I believe a metal plate in her leg, if I recall correctly. She's actually pretty good. I think Mia Yim actually gets knocked a little bit for her style, but I think Mia Yim's got great potential. It's certainly more than Duke and Shafir. I'm sorry, Duke and Shafir, they may be trying, but they're fucking atrocious. Rhea Ripley is also on NXT UK and NXT. I think she'd just be on the NXT brand because I think she's got better things to do there than NXT UK. Shayna Baszler will probably lose the title in the June takeover and then come up in the not in the Superstar shakeup, but come up to Raw. She would be a great boost for Raw. Do I think that Shayna is superb? No, but I think that she has improved. Give her a mouthpiece, though. Give her a fucking mouthpiece. Tanara Conte. Tanara Conte. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I hope she can do well. She's good in the ring. I don't know how much of an opportunity she's going to get. And then we got Xia Li in there because I already mentioned Vanessa Bourne. I love Vanessa Bourne. I think she's great. I think Xia Li's got a great upside. UK brand. Rhea Ripley is also featured on there. Isla Dawn. I know not that many people are fans of Isla Dawn. I think Isla Dawn can improve and be good and hopefully gets a chance. Jinny is somebody they see as a big star, and with good reason. She is really good at submission-based wrestling. Hits a hell of a mean big boot, too. Killer Kelly. Love Killer Kelly. Hopefully she gets more opportunities. Because sometimes just her jobbing constantly, I don't really like that, but hey, you got to build up people somehow, and it's a way to establish other talents, and then maybe give Killer Kelly a chance. Please don't put Kelly on NXT UK, but Killer Kelly as, somebody that could do some great things down the road. Nina Samuels, pretty much the same thing. They seem to be going more with a fashion look for her, and I don't quite understand it, but it is what it is. I think she's good. Toni Storm, current NXT UK Women's Champion. She's superb. And then we get Xia Brookside. So, yep, that's all I got to say about that. So, those are my thoughts. I think Xia Brookside's got a chance to really grow as, somebody. She's only 19 or 20. I mean, she's got a lot of years left. So those are my thoughts on a lot of the women. So, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.